Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on data science. You know, that invisible force that's pretty much reshaping our entire world. Let's jump right in.
And honestly, that is not an exaggeration. Think about it. Data science is basically the art of finding these incredible, meaningful patterns inside just massive amounts of data, all to solve some really complex problems. It's the silent engine behind so many of the gadgets and services we can't live without anymore.
So what's the raw material for this engine? Data. And a truly mind-boggling amount of it. We, as in all of humanity, generate 2.5 quintillion bytes of data every single day. I mean, just try to wrap your head around that number. It's the fuel for everything we're about to talk about. And we see the results of this work literally everywhere. Netflix just knows what you want to watch next. Walmart can actually predict that they need to stock up on Pop-Tarts right before a hurricane hits. Yep, that's a real thing. And of course, Facebook tagging your friends, Google keeping spam out of your inbox. It all feels a little bit like magic, right? But what's really going on behind the curtain?
Well, like any good magic trick, there's a ton of work happening behind the scenes that we never get to see. And the reality of data science, it's often way less about those glamorous predictions and a lot more about some serious, nitty-gritty prep work. So if they're not building these cool, futuristic models all day, what are they actually doing? Just think about it for a second. What part of the process do you think takes up the most time and energy?
And there it is. That's the big reveal. The most time-consuming part of the job isn't coding fancy algorithms or making beautiful charts. It's a process called data wrangling, and it's described as one of the most difficult and time-consuming parts of the whole gig. So what on earth is it?
To really get what data wrangling is all about, you first have to understand its arch nemesis, dirty data. See, before you can find any of those amazing insights, you have to deal with the messy, inconsistent, and just plain incomplete information that makes up most of those 2.5 quintillion bytes we generate.
This right here is data wrangling. It's that essential and, let's be honest, often unglamorous job of taking totally chaotic raw data and turning it into something clean, structured, and actually ready to be analyzed. You could think of it as the janitorial work of data science. It's absolutely critical because without it, nothing else can function properly. And this table gives us a fantastic breakdown of the usual suspects. You've got missing values, right? Like a customer's age is just blank. Then there are inconsistent formats, where one person writes Jan 11 and another writes 01/11. A computer can't sort that properly. And then you have outliers, maybe a simple typo that turns a $10 sale into a $1 million one. That one little error can completely throw off your entire analysis. So, how do you fight back against all this chaos? Well, with a very methodical process of tidying up. And this isn't just about hitting the delete key on bad data. It's about skillfully crafting a clean, reliable dataset from the ground up. And the ultimate goal, the holy grail, is to create what's called tidy data. This is the gold standard. It's a dataset where everything is in its proper place, perfectly structured, clean, and ready to go. It's the pristine foundation that all the cool analysis is built on top of. And as you can see here, it's a real four-step process. It's not random. First, you have to discover the problems. You're basically a detective hunting for clues. Then you structure the data to make it consistent. Next up is the actual cleaning, fixing or getting rid of errors. And finally, you validate everything to make sure it's high quality and ready to go.
Okay, so this is where it all comes together. We've seen the mess, we've seen the hard work. Now let's connect it all back to those amazing results we were talking about at the beginning. Why does all this tidying up matter so much?
Well, the source material says it perfectly. A few outliers, just a few pieces of bad data, can totally disrupt the outcome. It's that classic saying you've probably heard, garbage in, garbage out. The quality of what you put into your model directly determines the quality of what you get out of it.
And this slide just illustrates the payoff beautifully. If you build a model on dirty data, you're going to get inaccurate, unreliable predictions, which lead to flawed, bad business decisions. But if you build it on that clean, tidy data, now you're talking. You get accurate, reliable predictions that lead to smart decisions. The difference is literally night and day.
So that magic we feel when Netflix just gets us, it's not just some clever algorithm working in a vacuum. It's a clever algorithm running on an incredibly well-cleaned, well-structured foundation of data. Without the data wrangling, there is no magic. It's that simple. Which leaves us with a final thought to chew on. We're always so dazzled by these complex algorithms and AI, but maybe,
Just maybe, the real genius of data science isn't just in the final algorithm, but in the quiet, painstaking discipline required to clean the data that it all depends on. What do you think?